Here we go, 20 seconds of the market open. Today's play of the day. You'll see up here on Think Pipes, we have the market off to the left, showing you that we're going higher. We have BOXL, that is a short. We're looking for a 4 or 5 cent, kind of a scalp trade there. And to catch that, PDD is a long, as you can see. We'll be looking at one long, and then MTP is also a short. So you heard the bell there. We're focusing on our BOXL to see if we can get an entry, as well as MTP. The short names is where our priority is. Again, we've got plenty of volume in BOXL. I like that it's moved up to 2014. Let's watch it for one more second. Let's take it at 2013 short. So 2013 will be our entry for BOXL. Set up a 4 cent stop up to 2017. And then it gives us all the way down to basically $2.01 as our lower limit. We'll get us an arrow in there to kind of remind you real quick that we are going short, and then we are in that trade. Okay, so we're in the trade to BOXL. We're gonna watch that sell off. PDT, man, that is $2 kind of doji there. Looks like it's going higher. We're just gonna give that a second. Look at the overall market down red in that first minute, at least a red candlestick anyway. And then over to MTP, already down 12.5%. Again, that was a continuation down. So MTP for our, it's called a 7 cent stop. So if we set this up, it would give us up to 245, and then all the way down to selling off at 21. We do have plenty of volume coming in. All right, let's take MTP short if it hits 236. So you're not in it now, but if it goes to if it's max 236, then we are going to take it. And again, that will be a short. So we'll keep an eye on one eye on that. The other one's over about even in BOXL. And PDD, it looked like it was going to go screaming higher, and then it didn't. So we have ourselves set up for MTP. We're not in that trade. If it hits 236, we're going to take it with a 7 cent stop. So doing the math ahead of time. Well, it went up north of that. Let's see. We'll just keep an eye on that. Finally got to move down in BOXL. So again, 201 is our, let's see, yep, $2.01 is our exit trade there. So that's down over an R. We'll keep an eye on that. Don't like PDD at all. And again, that would be our long name. So it's flopping around too much. Let's replace PDD in the middle with GOLD, long. Again, this is the Warren Buffett headline play. So it's at about a 30% range that it's kind of flopping around in there. Not really too excited about that. Let's take a look at NVDA long in that middle pane. So up to around 3% or so. Again, this is off of a headline. I believe it was an upgrade. I'm watching MTP. It's kind of catching my eye. Boy, that's moved 10 cents higher. I kind of love the short entry here. Volume's good. I'm looking, so thinking out loud, we're not in that trade. I'm thinking about taking it 244 short. Again, if we did that, it would be a 5 cent stop. I missed it. Again, looking at MTP, trying to get an entry here. I like it better at 244. I don't think it's going to see that again, though. Well, maybe. All right. All right, NVIDIA is going higher. Let's look at another thing, couple let's see, pull up Shell again in that middle pane. Again, the only trade we're in is the one to the left. You can see it structured there on the screen. We're up an R. And again, that short and BOXL. All right. So Shell, looking at the opening here, it was up 6%. So nice gap there. Looks like MTP is working. Missed the entry there at 244. So got to kind of let that one go. But I do think it just continues to sell off throughout the day. But we didn't get it. All right. Shell keeps bouncing off of 26. There must be a buyer right there. If you look at the line all the way across the pre-market, once it got north of 26, it keeps hitting 26. So two things that can serve as a floor at 26, or once that buyer's exhausted, then there's nothing to support it at 26, and it can go lower. Not really digging the Shell setup there. Let's look at OPK is another name we looked at for long. That was just, it was gapping up above 5, not working there. Get rid of OPK. Let's look at GSK. Again, that's a long. Not moving a whole lot. Again, kind of low volume. Let's take a look at GSK was the Chinese K through 12 system. Let's look at LRN, which is the US. So not a lot of movement there. All right, and then GRWG is a long. You're gonna look at in the middle pane. It gapped up, but boy, it's not really moving higher. So 6 minutes in, I wouldn't try to catch the move at this point. All right, looks like we're just gonna have the one trade for today. Just BOXL is what we're watching. We're down at that near an R. We'll keep an eye on it. I do think it continues to sell off, so set your stops. If you wanted to adjust your stop back down to 215, so you're barely in the red, if it goes back up, that would mean it would have to go through the high of the open. I wouldn't do that. I'd just leave it at 217 and just call it a day. Go to the gym, check back on your trade a little later. All right. On short, let's look at that. So we've got our one trade ran to the left. We got the longs in the middle and the right. We'll look at some short names. Pull up a SRNE. This has been selling off. This would be a continuation. Sorry, let's put in the middle pane. Let's go back to our long. Let's put Shell in the middle pane, SHLL. We'll keep that as our long pane. And then on the right screen, we'll put that, thank you, SRNE. Ooh, continuation, that did work. Be pretty tough to take it out of the gate, but you could have taken it when it cracked below 10.6 or so. Low of the day, continue to sell off. Gosh, down 18%. If you back the Sorrento chart out, you can see the house of pain that I'm talking about. So if we can back out Sorrento to like a 20-day or so. So there it goes, up at 21.26. Now it's at half of that. So again, continuing to sell off there. Can't really stab a short into it here, but I think it does continue down. Hard to really tell how far it would go. All right, let's look at Hertz. Let's see how that opened. Again, we'll zoom in here, back to our normal kind of charts, if you will. So again, this would have been a 4-cent kind of scalp on the way down. Don't know who's buying Hertz, but we're not going to touch it. Let's see, BOXL we are in, and MTP. Let's check out MTP one last time. See what it ended up doing. Again, wanted that entry higher up around 244, did not get it. Don't want to take it down in this range at all. All right, let's look at some other names on that right hand. Let's look at, so we saw Shell was in place, so BLNK. Check our other EV names off of percent. Let's look at Plug, PLUG. Really? Plug must have a headline out there associated with it. Sorry, let's pull Plug up off to the right and see if we can see what that headline is. Again, I'm looking on a separate screen now just to check to see what might be driving plug higher here. No news, but it's been on fire. You know, Blink and Plug tend to travel together. They're traveling differently today, so that's weird. All right, let's look at pull up Tesla. All right, buck above 1700 against all times highs around 1750-ish. So it's creeping up on that. Remember, we had the big stock split coming up. All right, let's take a look at Nikola in KLA. In the green a little bit, but not traveling much. All right, check back on our trade. We're an hour and a half on our trade, so we'll just continue to watch that. We're going to go over to charts and check out the rest of the markets. This is where, for the folks who are checking this out for the first time, now switching back to our long investment hats. And we're looking at left-hand column. So you see the 5-day SPY. We'll back that out to a year in the SPY while we're kind of taking a look at things here. All right, that's an option up top. Shroom is a psychedelic name. Clickstream up 7%. Again, penny stock, but there are a lot of news coming down the road. We'll keep an eye on that. Tesla up. LCA has been getting a lot of love lately. So I think they're ready to do their SPAC IPO into GNOG because it's been up. Home Depot, we talked about. There's Home Depot and Lowe's in the top 20 there for today. All right, a lot of names in the green. That looks pretty nice. Overall, the Dow's just barely in the green. NASDAQ's up 0.2%, and S&P's up 1/3. All right, let's look at the red names. See what's moving down today. Boeing down, just a couple percent, nothing huge there. Delta Airlines, bank stocks are off a little bit. DraftKings down. You know what name I haven't seen? Luckin Coffee. All right, we'll leave it and we'll go back to our day trading charts and kind of see what's going on there. I saw Luckin in the green. That's pretty good. Okay, market doing pretty well. Look, our day trades down at the 2.5 hour actually hit 201. So we depending on if it hit exactly 201, we would be out of this trade again with our 3-hour trade. So it looks like it's so you'd want to check to see, because when it just touches it, that doesn't mean everybody at that level got filled. That means that some people got filled at that level. So you would want to check to see if you got filled there at the 3-hour point. If you didn't get filled, I would hold on. This has got plenty of, I think it's got plenty of room to the downside. Generally, when people put, like, an institutional come in, they'll put in a big order at like 2. So bouncing off of 201 is a pretty good place to be. So overall, we took one trade today, and it looks like it's turning out to be successful if you limit it out right at 3. Otherwise, just keep an eye on it, and it should limit you out. If you want to call it good and take your 2.5 hour trade off the table, you can, but I have no problem letting this one go.